Hello, and good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. This is John O'Neill, and this is the Onealien Show. Welcome back. I've got a lot of things to cover today, so I'm going to jump right into it. First and foremost, this episode of the Onealien Show is brought to you by WholeHarmonyHealing.com. Whole Harmony believes in treating the whole person, the body, the mind, and the spirit. Each person that they meet has a different circumstance that led them to where they are when they come to Whole Harmony for help. Guess what? Using holistic methods helps to assist amazing individuals work through their past experiences and heal from the inside out. Please visit WholeHarmonyHealing.com to schedule an appointment with Jalea and mention the Onealien Show to receive a special pricing just for you. All right? WholeHarmonyHealing.com. Man, oh man, thank you. Gratitude is all I can say. We are off and running. We're about 21 episodes into the Onealien Show. I'm having a blast. Bringing my friends in. I'm having a blast just diving into my own mind and my own life, sharing with you. So welcome to the journey. Welcome to the Onealien Show and the journey that we're doing. Man, I've gotten quite a few messages, and I just have to continue to say I'm so grateful. I'm blown away. It doesn't really register with me all the time, when I'm delivering some type of content on who it might affect, what nuggets someone might get from it. So, I read all the comments. There's comments and people that reflect and they see the comparison in their lives, and one person kind of was brought to tears. It's very touching. The message, emails, all those things, man. I'm so grateful. I'm humbled and I'm grateful to be here with you, the Onealien Show. All right, fantastic. Thank yous and gratitudes. Social sites, holy smokes, blown away. Once again, y'all are doing it, not me. Y'all are doing it. Instagram up over 6K. We're just gonna talk about numbers a little bit. I don't really get all into that too much, but hey, I'm a human being and we do everything for something. So that's just kind of a way to get some of that feedback and keep me motivated and inspired. So 6K over on Instagram, amazing. And then TikTok, the two platforms I spend most of my time on. Of course, Facebook is popping. The Onealien Show, the Onealien Show, right? Twitter popping. But man, oh man, TikTok just went over 10,000 followers of the Onealien Show. What? What does that even mean? I don't know. This is uncharted waters, ladies and gentlemen, but you're in the boat with me and we're just sailing on through. 10,000 followers on TikTok. Go to the Onealien Show and check it out. Lots of videos up there. I'm gonna start going now that I was over the threshold. I'm gonna start doing some live things. Stay tuned. I'm traveling this weekend, so I may just bring you along with me. We'll go TikTok live all weekend, show you some of the sights and the scenery that I get into. So social sites, man, all of them are just they're lit. They're on fire. And it's you who are engaging that motivates and inspires me. So thank you very much. Gratitude from my heart to yours. Like I just said, 21 shows into it. I don't know where time goes. The weeks just fly by. We're already in April. Launched back in February, so we're about 60 days into it. All the shows are online. Go get them. All the shows are online at starworldwide.com. Check it out, The Onealien Show. There's other shows that you can see too. There's a plethora. It's a buffet of content and information on our network page. So check it out. Obviously, click on The Onealien Show and you'll see the whole catalog of shows. You can go back, episode 21, which was last week. If you remember, I had my five estranged brothers, five brothers who hadn't been together in one room for about 20 plus years, right? A mother who hadn't seen a couple of her children for that amount of time. So last week's show, it was a reunion. And so I brought them on and we talked just a little bit briefly about some of the things that we were going through, the dynamics of family, but family does matter. That was the title of the show, and that's what I believe in. back on episode 17. Check it out. It's in the catalog, starworldwide.com. Check it out. The path of the lion that I introduced to everybody, right? The change evolution that I've gone through personally. And so there's some key steps along the path of your own evolution, right? To change. Those of you who want to change, those of you who don't, as I said last week, this may not be for you. Change on and continue on. And the stick in the mud, right? The bump on the log, whatever you want to do, go ahead. But those of you who want to change like me, those of you who want to continually evolve like me, we're here. Episode 17 was a Path of the Lion. It's still available. You just go to theonealien.com. It'll pop right up. Put your email in there and I'll get notified and send you over your own copy of the Path of the Lion. It's beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. I had my team, make it all nice and neat, and you see the path and a few graphics here and there, and then you have the bullet points, really, things to remind you, things that you probably could already be doing, but it's just a reminder, oh yeah, that's why I do that, or let me get back to something that I may not be doing anymore. So that was episode 17. Episode 13, I'm just kind of going back a little bit. Teamwork was what we talked about, and I expounded on things that I've learned on building effective teams around me. Right? Whether it be at home or at work, wherever it's at, I want effective teams around me, okay? And so we talked about that. Episode 7, we talked about leadership, things to remember as you operate as a leader at work, at home, in the community, wherever you're at, right? We talked about leadership and some key foundational principles that I found make leaders effective, okay? We have had awesome guests. We had Al that was here, Al Gleason. We had Robert Reed here. We had Jalea, Erica, Jackie. Man, all my friends are coming. They're lined up. They're still coming. They're still coming, right? They're all lined up to come and just give a little piece. They want to extend their helping hand. They have the same heart I have, and that is for helping people. That's for helping people. So what an exciting time it's been the last couple months on the Onealien show. And you've been here with me. You've been here with me. So it warms my heart. It uplifts my spirit and gives me a smile to know that I'm not here alone. Exciting news. Today we're going to focus on some very exciting news. Today, I just want to introduce to you something that is near and dear to my heart. Okay? Since I was a child, I was writing. Since I was a child, there's things that I was writing. I wrote a couple short stories that I remember. I got to dig them up, probably in a crate somewhere, box somewhere. But the other thing is that I found myself writing was poetry. And for me, poetry was always just something a way for me to release, almost like journaling. A lot of us journal, right? Poetry was the same way. I would have some type of gumption, some type of spark in my spirit and in my soul, and I'd get out a piece of paper and man, there's just times when it would fly off the page. I couldn't even hardly keep up with the writing, right? So poetry was something that I developed as a release, all right? And sometimes the words were prophetic. Sometimes I would write a poem and I may not even know its true meaning, right? That sometimes I would write something that would come to pass. Later on in my life, I would go back and read that and say, oh, man, I was talking about what's going on right now way back then. That message was given to me back then. So sometimes, I found that they've got a little bit of prophetic component to them. Other times, they're not even my own feelings, right? As a empathetic person, I say that loosely because I struggle at times. But as a person who looks at other people and tries to put himself in their shoes, tries to see their perspective, right? Tries to walk a little bit in their shoes. So sometimes my poetry it wasn't even about anything that I was going through. It may not even been about anything that's ever even happened in my life, right? But it just came to me. And so my desires for the poetry, just like everything else I do, it will be to help somebody. The exciting news is the book has been titled. I had Sunset Shadows was kicking around, and I think that might be volume 2, but volume 1 of the new book that I just met with the team last night, looking at the final draft, looking at the design, making sure everything is good. The new book, the brand new book by author. Woo! Hey, What's up? By author John O'Neill is called Sidewalk Square Counting. Sidewalk Square Counting, the final draft, and if we hit that deadline, it will be available to everybody by May 1st. Is that not exciting or what? By May 1st, baby, we're going to get it out there on a bookstore near you, bookshelf, or maybe just Amazon. I don't know what it is, but it will be available. And if you don't get a copy, don't worry about it, because I'm going to get a lot of copies, and I'm just going to leave them all over. You might go into Starbucks tomorrow and just see that book on the table. Pick it up, read a couple. Who knows? But Sidewalk Square Counting. Well, what the heck is that? Sidewalk Square Counting. That's kind of a weird title, you know. Some people may not grasp it or not really understand, and that's okay, because I don't mind people not understanding. The ones who want to understand will seek it out. Sidewalk Square Counting, right? Sidewalk squares. What is that to me? To me, sidewalk squares are just your steps in life, right? It's just the next step on your path, okay? Sidewalk squares. It could be a season in your life, right? It could be people coming and going in your life. That is really just all it is. It's the journey. It's the steps of your life, sidewalk squares, right? We're all going through our own steps in our own journey. And then counting, sidewalk squares counting. Counting is something interesting, and it's really for me specifically. Some of you may be able to relate, but counting, right? If you look up arithmomania from the Greek arithmos, which means numbers, right? And then mania from compulsion. So a compulsion for numbers, right? I've always been phenomenal at math, love math, right? Always loved numbers, okay? Always knew the significance of numbers, okay? So sidewalk square counting. So counting being derived from me personally. They call it a mental disorder. Uh-oh. I'm okay. I might have a mental disorder. Who knows? It depends on the prescriber. But counting from arithmomania comes from a mental disorder that may be seen as an expression of a term that you all know or have heard, and that's OCD. OCD, right? Individuals experiencing this, they still call it a disorder. Individuals experiencing this disorder, John O'Neill's disorder, have a strong need to count their actions or objects in their surroundings. That's where counting comes from. I've always been that type of individual. If I'm walking down a sidewalk, I may count the squares. I may count the windows. I may count the trees or the light posts, right? I've always found myself just being some type of counter, right? I say I got borderline OCD. I don't know of those of you who call yourself borderline or full-fledged, whatever it is. You know, I'm not all the way crazy OCD, but I do like things kind of in a certain order. You know, when I go in the house, I set things down in the same place, right? If you slide it and move it over, I may be lost and can't even find my car keys, even though it's still in sight, but it wasn't where I put it. Right? I like pictures in a room to be square. You know, if one's a little bit tilted, it catches me right away and I can't take my eyes off of it. Like, oh my gosh, right? So there's certain things that I say, I have OCD tendencies. Does that make sense? OCD tendencies. I like order, right? And so sidewalk square counting was just something that came from my soul, right? The path of life, right? In some of the things, in one of the mannerisms that I found myself doing just in my own mind, right? Nobody knows, but sometimes I'll be counting things. I'll count stuff, right? How many flights of stairs? Right? 13. I'll know that by 2 or 3 times of going up and down a flight of stairs. So sidewalk square counting is the new book by newly author John O'Neill in final draft. We're wrapping it all up, okay? And we want it available by May 1st. May 1st. Poems, what is it? What is the book about? Poetry, well, what does that mean, right? Poems about life. It's gonna be about life. And sometimes when you say about life, life has darkness and life has light. So there's some poems in there about life. And there sometimes, you know, there may be a poem in there that's just about a human or a man struggling with some things in life. Okay? Sometimes there's struggles, and I may have written those words down. Sometimes there's victories, and I may have written those words down. So there's some poems in there that I say are about life. There's other poems in there that are about love, right? Love, sometimes love can be painful, though. So there's poems in there about roses are red and violets are blue, and you're my baby, and I love you, right? But there's also might be some poems in there about heartbreak. There might be some poems in there about love in the pain that sometimes comes with it, right? life, about love. It's about happiness. And when I say about happiness, what I mean is that sometimes happiness could be a mask that you wear. And so there are some poems in there that might be a mask that I was wearing at that time, or it might be a mask that you can relate to you wearing at that time, right? Why? Because there's a lot of times in our life when we put on that happiness mask, but that doesn't mean that we're completely happy. Doesn't mean that I separate it with joy, right? Joy is internal, right? And sometimes we could be outwardly happy and we could be a mess on the inside. So sometimes there's poems about that in there, in Sidewalk Square Counting, in the path of life, in counting your seasons and your steps and your journey, right? Keeping track, keeping things in order as much as possible, okay? What do they call it? Organized chaos is most of our lives, okay? Life, it's about love, it's about happiness, it's about pain, it's about joy, it's about the darkness, it's about all of those things. So hopefully, Sidewalk Square Counting will be a book that you could pick up and that you could get something out of. That is my hope. That is my hope. So today I've got a few excerpts, and so I'm gonna share with you a few poems out of the book directly and right now, straight from me. But before I do, I want to introduce another one of our sponsors. The first one was WholeHarmonyHealing.com. The other one I want to introduce is Retail Therapy of Arizona. This is an organization that supports local businesses in Arizona, okay? They have 3 amazing locations, one in Glendale, another one up north in Anthem, and another one further west at the Westgate. If you haven't been to the Westgate, it's beautiful there. No ads for them, but anyways, all right? They have over 150 vendors that they deal with, local Arizona vendors, companies right here, community classes they have event planning they have online shopping, they have applications. They don't just take anybody. You can't just go in there and it's not a thrift store. Let me tell you that right now. It's not a pawn shop. Let me tell you that right now. What it is you have to apply to even come into their organization. They have to make sure that you fit their vision and their mission. So go to retailtherapyaz.com and check them out. All of it's there. They're a wonderful partner of the show, and we thank them for that as our sponsor. Okay, so what did I bring? I brought a couple excerpts. We're talking about the book Sidewalk Square Counting. We're talking about the book that will be released and available to the public on May 1st of 2023 by your author, the one and the only, John Onealien. Let's get into it. So I'm going to read a couple. I'm just going to read a couple, I'm going to read a couple to you. We're going to see how it goes, all right? The first one I want to read to you, this one is called I got to get my reading voice. This one is called disclaimer too. If I mess up on my reading or anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very good reader, but just all right. This one is called the first poem that I'm going to read to you today. That's from Sidewalk Square Counting is called Eyes Shut. Here we go. Down go the last lid curtains, and blackness is what I see. Many things I'm not certain, but this night I'll play the same old movie. You and me, eyes came down to rest on that image of you glowing. Like the way fall leaves drift to the ground at peace, but not growing. A new tune is strummed in my heart. A different sound is now flowing. Like a new song sung by the birds, no words, this message I'm still knowing. And with each chirp stanza comes that rush, that new found burst. Are we cursed? For surely we are fools, embarked on a love that hurts. Purely at first, when passion and lust thirst, loneliness seemed to only lurk just over the horizon, just past the place we could cast our eyes on. When I should have gotten up, you pulled me closer. I chose to rely on you. I cannot flee. This thing has gotten me. Can it be that I crave so blissfully? So with each time I use you, baby, I seem to abuse too, recklessly risking me and you. Eyes Shut by John Onealien of the Sidewalk Square Counting. That was just an excerpt. Eyes Shut, talking about what do you think it was talking about? What do you think it was talking about? Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think Eyes Shut was talking about. I can tell you what it's talking about, and I'll mention it on social media if you see me there. Let's talk. Let me give you another one. Let me give you another one. I got a couple. I got 4 of them total. Stay with me. I got 4 of them total. This one is called The Nudge. This one is called The Nudge, and it's an excerpt from Sidewalk Square Counting on your bookstores May 1st. The Nudge. Close your eyes and imagine this. You are a young child standing on the edge of a vast ocean. The waves are crashing in, making loud splashes. A voice behind you tells you to walk in. But all you could focus on is the horizon that is lost in that deep blue sea. You cannot see where your feet will land. You cannot see where the depths of the ocean go. But that voice tells you again, walk in. Do you? Or will you remain frozen on the edge, never to move? Or will you confidently walk forward, trusting in that voice will tell you, trusting that that voice will tell you to stop, don't go too far? Do you trust that voice? Do you have a voice? Do you trust that the higher power knows how far you could go before you are in danger? Do you trust? Will you walk in? Will you walk until it gets too deep and then stand and then keep going and then just swim? Into the deep is what we call it. And to him, it is no deeper than a puddle. And that is when you close your eyes and you remember that puddle? Remember that puddle from the rain? Remember when you used to jump as a child with joy and come splashing down into that puddle on the sidewalk? Was there any fear from you then? Was there any hesitation then? No, never. It was inviting. Well, as you stand on the edge of something right now, the Most High is asking you to use that same fearless abandon, the same joy, the same anticipation for the same splash to come when you simply jump in. Your eyes see vastness, but guess what? His eyes, they just see another puddle. Never be afraid to change your life. The Nudge. Hey, there it is. How'd you guys like that one? Excerpt number 2, The Nudge. Some of you are standing on the edge of something. Some of you know you need to keep going. Some of you know you need to take a first step, right? What did they say before in a previous show? The leap of faith. The nudge says you're listening to that voice that keeps telling you to go, and you're standing there frozen. What's making you frozen? Fear, lack of confidence, naysayers around you, whatever it is. Take heed to the nudge. Get out there and get it. Follow me? You feel me? Couple more excerpts from the Sidewalk Square Counting. This one is entitled Day by Day. And here goes. Let me get ready. My reading voice. Perfect. Day by day. Day by day moves the rolling thunder. Confusion surfaces from up under. The thoughts of a boy or a pretty little girl. How will I survive in this crazy world? Shots ring out in the midnight air. A scream from somewhere to raise the hair. Simple sounds, they come to me no more. Crickets chirping, frogs burping, waves on a seashore. I lay awake wondering, when will love come? Where is all the confusion and all the hate from? They sit up there in their houses high on the hillside, fearing we will rise up like 7 o'clock high tide. They don't even care that every little thing they spill will roll down the road and my yard will fill. I'm trapped with high concrete bars around. My whole life lay before me on the filthy ground. I long to go play in a park, a beautiful playground with the birds singing and the sun beaming and the children laughing all around. But my park, rust bars, bumpy metal slide, broken swings, empty dreams. I saw it and I cried. They say my people don't know how to treat, yet there was a time when chains were around my feet. All I hope for is to be given a simple chance to show and share my beauty more than a glance. You plan to surround me with all of this ugliness and submerge me with hate, confusion, and daily stress. But with my mind both as a weapon and a defense, I will struggle on, singing my own personal pledge of allegiance. I don't ask you for your charity, your help, or even your pity. Just a little understanding of children growing up in the inner city, day by day. John O'Neill, excerpt from Sidewalk, Square Counting. And we got one more. I got one more to share with you before I get out of here. One more excerpt from this exciting news. May 1st, the book is almost done. It's ready to come out. I'm excited. If you don't feel it, then see it and know it. This last piece is called Cup of Coffee. See, some of us like coffee. I like my coffee every day. And so this inspired me when I was drinking a cup of coffee. Here goes. One more time. This is the last one, I promise. One more time, cup of coffee. All you coffee lovers, lean forward and listen up. This is a cup of coffee. Don't mean to be too forward, baby. Hope it ain't rude, but you got me craving you. Sitting there all delicious and freshly brewed. Your sweet aroma tantalizes my senses as I enter the room. It's gonna be an all-day thing, baby, me and you, morning and afternoon. I know this for sure, cause each time I see your hot liquids pour, my head already tells me, man, oh man, we'll be coming back for more. Taking you to the top, yeah, you know I'm a brim type of dude. That's what's up. Some like to take you in halves, but this grown-ass man fills his cup. Cream cools down my sips. Hold the sugar, cause that comes from your lips. Caressingly, I fix ya. With my stir stick, I dip in and slowly mix ya. As I hold you close, my body warms with each continued dose. God damn, this caramel-colored hottie is doing the most. Look at ya. The way you glide, the way you swirl, the way you sway, got me my energy at a peak, baby. I'm ready to start my day. I won't ever let you get cold. I keep you steamy. Yeah, kinda naughty. You ain't just a corner shop chick. You're what I need, my cup of coffee. John O'Neill. Sidewalk, Square Counting, baby. That's it. Who's ready for some coffee? Who's ready? Oh, never mind. Let me not go too far. Yeah, coffee. Couple excerpts from the book. They're just stuff I wrote down one time, right? All in the book. Beautiful graphics. Oh, it's nice. I'm excited to share, right? I'm excited to share on the Onealien Show as I have today. I want to thank my sponsors. Please go and visit wholeharmonyhealing.com. I want to thank retailtherapyaz.com. I want you to go to the Onealien.com, right? I want everybody to go and check out Sidewalk Square Counting at a bookstore near you, coming to you soon. This is the Onealien. We've got exciting news each and every week. I got friends coming in next week. I got some traveling I'm about to do and invite you. So, hey, visit someone today that you love and tell them that you love them, because it's all about life, love, and happiness. This is the Onealien from the Onealien Show. We are counting squares. We're out. Thank you very much. See everybody next time.